Today I'm putting the 17mm M.Zuiko lenses head to head. Let's see if the M.Zuiko f1.8 lens can handle the image quality that the 1.2 lens can give you. Stick around to see if this is worth it, or should you get this one. And before we start testing and putting this lens head to head, please consider to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you get notified when there's a new video online. My channel is all about you getting to be a better photographer. And I also post 2 videos a week, usually on Tuesdays and on Fridays. My last video was about the M.Zuiko 17mm f1.8. I put a link to the description of the video to that video if you haven't seen it yet. But first, when we start comparing these, the first thing you notice is the size of this Pro lens. As you can see, the Pro version is a lot bigger, and here on the sides you can see the different specifications of these two lenses. One big difference between these two is that the Pro version is weather sealed. So if you need to have weather sealing on your lens, then you only have one option. It's the Pro version. But then if you need a small and handy lens for your travels, and especially if you have a small body like the OMD M5 Mark II, then the 17mm f1.8 could be the lens for you. The widest aperture is f1.8 on the M.Zuiko version, and the Pro version has f1.2. So the difference is one stop. And then I started to look at what is the T-stop, which is the actual amount of light that is transmitted through the lens. And I could find this on DxO Mark for the M.Zuiko lens, and that was T2. But I could not find it for the Pro version. So why don't we make a little test and see. Okay, the first image I had f1.8 on this 1.2 lens, and how do you say that? 320th of a second. That's a hard word to say. Let's check what I will get with the other lens. It's attached to this, so we grab this one. Okay, now we had exactly the same values on this one, and let's check out the histograms if there is any difference. Okay, this is with the Pro lens, and as you can see from the histogram that the exposure is as far right as possible, and then we change the image that was made with the f1.8 lens, and as you can see it's a bit darker. Actually, what's funny, can you see the difference in the angle of view? And the angle of view is consistent what the specs say. It's 64 with the M.Zuiko lens, and with the Pro lens is 65. So as you saw, the difference is not very big, but there is a difference. Then there is one thing I want to test. I read a blog post about these two lenses, and there was a mention that they have a little bit different color rendering, so the other one makes the image a bit bluer. But let's check out how it looks when I take images of the ice on the ocean. And let's change the lens to see if there is any color difference. Try to make the exact same image. It's actually quite cold. It's not nice. But a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do and test some lenses. And let's check that we have the same exact exposure values and take the image. And now let's see if there's any difference in the histogram on the blue side of the histogram. Okay, this is with the Pro lens, and let's try to see the blue histogram here. Well, is there a bit difference there? I can't say from this. Well, I can't confirm that the other image is bluer than the other. Don't know if that's true or not. And I always mention that I don't really care about vignetting on the lenses, because I very often add vignetting in post to most of my images. But if you do care about vignetting, then the M.Zuiko f1.8 has a bit more vignetting than the Pro version. But stopping down 2 stops, 1 stop, it's gone, so it's not a big problem in my opinion. And the distortion is not a problem because it's electronically fixed anyways. Both of these lenses have so-called MF clutch, so they're very good to use in manual focus, and with the help of focus picking, manual focus is very easy with these two lenses. And then the focusing motors are really silent, so these are very good also in AF mode in video. The sound of the motor won't ruin your audio. Olympus says that the Pro version lenses with f1.2 widest aperture has so-called feathered bokeh. So what's the difference with bokeh with these two lenses? As you can see from these two images, the image that was taken with the f1.2 17mm M.Zuiko Pro lens, the bokeh is a bit more pleasing. I took these images before I came out here to shoot this video when I was making the script in the coffee shop. So it is actually true, it is a bit more pleasing to my opinion. Of course you decide for yourself, but I like the bokeh on this Pro lens a bit more. And what about the closest focusing distance? When I tested this in my last video, I did not talk about that at all. But with the M.Zuiko f1.8 lens, the closest focusing distance is 25 centimeters, and with the Pro version is 20 centimeters. But there is a very odd thing. If you use the MF clutch, you cannot reach the 25 centimeters. It's a bit further away, so there is a difference. So if you want to get really close with the f1.8 lens, you need to use the AF to get the closest focusing point. And the same goes with the Pro lens, but the difference is a lot less with the Pro lens. But that's kind of a funny thing, that why not with manual focusing using the MF clutch you cannot get that close. The AF is quite fast on both of these, but if you need to take a lot of images in low light conditions, in venues, in parties, the Pro version has a little bit better AF in low light conditions. To conclude this short test on these two 17mm lenses, they're both very well made and very solid to use. And as I said in the beginning, that the size will matter which one you want to choose. And then of course, which is good, the Pro version comes with the lens hood. And you all know what I think about the lens hoods. I'm not going to go through that here, but lens hoods are very important. And it's very good that it's included with the Pro version. The Pro lens costs almost 4 times compared to this one, so that is also a point to consider if you need a 17mm lens. And if you do not need to take any images in very hard conditions and in wet conditions, then and want to have a really small and compact lens to carry around, I would go with the f1.8 version. But if you need weather sealing, like I do right now, because it's starting to getting freaking cold and it's raining, so I need to get quickly back, so let's wrap up this. So we go back to the Pro lens. If you need a lens for harsh conditions, weather sealing, nice bokeh, and also if you need to have a customizable button on your lens, if you're used to using it, then this one has it, the Pro version, which this other one doesn't have. Alright, but hey, thanks for watching and bye for now.